Hey, howdy, hey, folks. Guess who it is? It's your favorite character from the Magic Railroad parody. I've been asked to give an introduction before this special presentation of what it looks like when you make a Gauge 1 remake of a wooden railway video. Yeah, you heard that right. The wooden one came first. Is that legal? I didn't know you could do that. The wooden one came first. But how the hell does that work? Let me explain. Back in spring 2021, way before Project Tiger Moth had begun shooting, Jacob asked Nicky to make a wooden railway version so that he could use that as a reference. It was filmed over 3 days using a list of existing shots from the show selected by Nicky, Jacob, and Rob. I have no idea who these people are. But there's a PDF down below if you're into that stuff and you want to take a look. But without any further ado, roll the cartoon!
One morning, Toby the tram engine was feeling glum. The other engines were busier than ever, but poor Toby hadn't taken any passengers with Henrietta for weeks, only shunting freight cars in the yard. Just then, Gordon puffed in to take on water. "Oh, hello, Gordon," said Toby cheerfully. "Are you pulling the express today?"
"Who else but me?" huffed Gordon.
"You're lucky to always have passengers," said Toby sadly. "Henrietta and I haven't gone this long without passengers since... well, not since my old tramway closed down." Then Toby remembered. "It was back in the good old days," chuckled Toby. "We had our own line, hauled freight, and Henrietta was always bustling with passengers. They'd visit on holidays, and they always remembered our names. But then they stopped coming back. My line was closed, and the good old days were gone." "It would be nice to have my own tramway again," sighed Toby. "Like having my own branch line."
"Paw!" snorted Gordon. "Branch lines are just useless extensions of the important main line. That's all Sir Topham Hatt cares about."
And he puffed rudely away. Just then, Thomas puffed in with some freight cars. He then saw Toby, looking dismayed. "What's the matter?" asked Thomas. "Oh, just miss being useful," replied Toby. "If I could just have some work to do," he said sadly. Thomas smiled. "Well, you can take that train of building supplies to Percy for me," said Thomas, glancing over to a long train of cars. "They're needed up at the work site of the new main line extension. Then I'll be able to collect Sir Topham Hatt early, and you'll have some work to do." Toby was excited, though the extension was news to him. "Come on, Toby," said his driver. "We'll take Thomas's branch line and give you a nice long run." Toby was now beaming with joy. He reversed onto Thomas's train and set off for the worksite. But as Toby was puffing along, his mood changed. Gordon was right. Sir Topham Hatt really does only care about the main line, he thought to himself. Meanwhile, Percy was fuming. "Where's Thomas? I'm exhausted," he complained. "He'll be here soon," soothed his driver. "But we must remind him not to spoil the surprise." Percy was puzzled. "What surprise?" Before his driver could answer, Toby arrived. "Here are the building supplies, Percy," he panted. Percy was surprised. "Toby, what are you doing here?" he snapped. "I'm sorry. Thomas said I could deliver these supplies for him. Is there anything else I can do to help?" Percy eyed a long line of freight cars, full of scrap and tree branches. "You can take those cars back to the yards for me," he replied. The train looked quite heavy for Toby, but he agreed. He rolled onto the special junction, called a Y, to change directions. He then buffered up to the heavy train and was on his way. Soon Toby was pushing the heavy train up a big hill. He made a tremendous effort, but just as he reached the top, the weight of the cars became too much for him. His driver shut off steam and tried to apply the brakes, but it was too late. There was worse to come. As Toby thundered toward the worksite, he saw Percy dead ahead on his track.
"Look out, Percy!"
A workman scrambled over to switch the points just in time. Toby rocketed past Percy. Percy raced after. Whew! Toby shut his eyes and braked with all his might. At last, he came to a stop right beside an old station platform. When Toby opened his eyes, he couldn't believe where he was. Percy pulled up behind him. "Are you all right, Toby?" he gasped. Toby was bubbling with excitement. "Percy, this is my old tramway. And look, there's my old shed. I never thought I'd see it again. Just then, Thomas arrived with Andy and Clarabelle, and out steps Sir Topham Hatt. He spoke sternly to Toby. You should know your own strength by now, Toby, he boomed. I'm sorry, sir, but I only wanted to help. I'm aware of that. I'm just glad to see you're safe, though it's a shame you spoiled your surprise. Toby was confused. My surprise, sir? Sir Topham Hatt smiled. Yes, Toby. Our new extension is in fact a restoration. We are restoring and connecting your tramway with the main line and Thomas's branch line. Toby grinned from buffer to buffer. He almost couldn't believe it. Oh, sir! Thank you, sir! He cheered happily. When the restoration was complete, Toby and Henrietta took a special charter of friends, old and new, down the line. The villagers and enthusiasts were overjoyed to see their old line restored and congratulated Toby and his crew. Then they set off on the opening run. For Toby, it seemed the good old days were here to stay.